Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. So today we are going to be talking all about the Kaleidos Space Age highlighters. I absolutely love and adore this formula, and I have all the shades that they have to offer with me today to share with you, to swatch and play. I also have some discontinued shades as well, so if you want to see some comparisons and whatnot, we are just going to go down to the nitty gritty. I'm going to show you everything, tell you everything you need to know. We're going to break it all down in today's video. So grab a snack, grab your tea, grab your coffee. Today I have my matcha, which is almost finished. So with that being said, if you guys want to know more about the Space Age highlighters from Kaleidos, then please continue watching. Alright, so where to begin? I feel like there's just so much to break down. I have so much info on my notes as well, so if you see me looking down, I'm just referring to my notes so I don't get any information wrong. But let's start off with the pricing, because there's a few different prices. So with these Space Age highlighters, just the standard ones, they are $14 US, which to my surprise, honestly, I thought these were at least 25. Like, considering the packaging and the formulation, for $14 it is seriously so affordable. I don't think you can beat that. Like, when I think about like colourpop press highlighters or press powders, they go for about, I think, like $10 US, right? So for $4 more, and for the formulation you're getting, like, if you guys don't know anything about the Kaleidos Space Age highlighters, I'm about to blow you away with this formula. Like, it's seriously just one of a kind. Like, truly no brand is doing it like Kaleidos, in my opinion. Like, I just love this brand. By the way, this video is not sponsored. I did get everything in PR, but I'm not required to do this video. I just really love these highlighters, and because they came out with this encyclopedia little set where you can get all 8 of their highlighters, I would just do like a video where you can refer to in case you are having trouble of which shade you want to purchase. And then they have 2 multi-chrome eyeshadows, which are $36 US. So obviously this one is a lot more expensive. I'm just gonna assume that multi-chrome products, shadows, highlighters are just a little bit more expensive to make, hence the price difference between the two. And then, like I mentioned before, they did come out with this little kit that you can purchase or come in this box where it has all 8. The packaging is really pretty. It has details about the highlighters here, and then the 8 highlighters that they currently have on their site right now. So if you wanted to purchase this set, it's $165 US, but when I checked last night, it was discounted, so it's $149. So you do save a bit of money if you do purchase it like this, and you get this box as well. Like, it's really nice, it's really sturdy. And then I thought I would mention that they do have a highlighter brush, which is $9 US. I actually have all their brushes. These are really nice. I would recommend them, and like, they're very affordable as well. So they have the contour, the blush, and the highlighter. This one is a new one they sent to me. I'm just gonna pass this one on because I already have one. I can just show you here. These are the brushes, and it matches my outfit today. So they have 8 shades currently on the site that you can purchase, but there are 3 discontinued shades from what I could see, and I have 2 of those 3 discontinued shades, and I'm still gonna swatch them just so you can see some comparisons in case you have them as well. And also, Kaleidos did revamp some of their packaging for some of the highlighters, so if my packaging or my case or my tin looks a little different from what you're seeing online, it's just because I have the old one. I do have some of the newer ones to show you, and I'll show you when we get to the certain shades, but I just want to note that they did revamp, and also one shade they did completely sort of change. So with that being said, they have 3 different finishes when it comes to their highlighter. So when you're shopping online, you will see that there's like a little code almost. So it will start off with a letter, and then the number, and then the shade name. So there are 3 different letters you will see. The first one is M, which stands for multi-chrome. So it'll say MO1 Prophecy or MO2 Gifted. And then we have G, which stands for glitter or glittering, which is what they wrote on the box in this package. And these are really sparkly highlighters with a lot of like little micro sparkles and glitters, and these are also duochrome as well. And then lastly we have N, which stands for natural, and these highlighters will be more like your typical highlighters that you see from other brands, just like a standard pretty highlighter, but the not so standard. The N series is probably going to be the most like natural, hence why it's called natural, duh. But yeah, you guys get what I mean. Those are the 3 different finishes. So I feel like no matter like what kind of style of makeup you like to do, there will be definitely something from Kaleidos you can try. So with that being said, let's talk about the first finish. Let's start off with the multi-chrome. So they have 2. These are their latest highlighter. They came out with Prophecy last year, I believe. So this will be M01 Prophecy. It's a multi-chrome, and they say it will have a green, fuchsia, lime shifts. So depending on the lighting, depending on the way you are turning your head, you will see multiple shades. And with this formula, these are very metallic and they are very pigmented. They are very high shine. It literally looks like from outer space, like that's what it is. Obviously you could double this up as eyeshadow as well. You don't have to use it just for highlighter. I haven't used these as eyeshadows before, which I probably should. And then we have Gifted, which is the latest one they came out with. They describe this will have peach, blue, green shifts to it. And when I apply it, I mainly see more like a fuchsia shift rather than like the blue and green. But I think, you know, depending on your skin tone, it's gonna bring out different colors, if that makes sense. So it's just a really beautiful multi-chromatic highlighters. These are the 2 that are a little bit more expensive. If I'm being honest, out of all the different finishes from the Space Age highlighters, this would be my least favorite. I do prefer just like a solid highlight or even like the glitter highlight. I don't really love it on my cheeks. It still looks pretty, but it's not like my favorite, you know, not to say they are bad. Like really the formula is great. It's just, I guess the shift is not like my favorite thing on my cheeks. But then onto the NYX formula series, which is G for glitter or glitter ring. So again, these have a lot of sparkle to them. They're not iridescent almost, but you could use them as an eyeshadow topper to get those really nice micro glitters on flash. They sparkle like a diamond. It's seriously so pretty. And for $14, again guys, I think this formula, the G formula, is so worth it, and they have some really beautiful shades. So starting off with G01, this is Skywalker, which is actually a newer one that I got to use recently. This one has more like aqua and like silver glitters to it. It's a very blue highlight, but it's very pretty. And whenever I do more colorful looks, I will always go to the Space Age highlighters for my highlight because I always like to match. And then GO2 is called Laser Glazer. This one is discontinued and this is the one I don't have. And I had to Google what GO2 was and it's so pretty. It's like a green yellowy highlight. And I wonder why they discontinued this because I think it would have been a really great addition to their lineup because they don't have like a green sort of leaning highlight. And it's so pretty. But that is GO2 and that is discontinued. Then we move into GO3, which is Solar Sailor. This one is really beautiful as well. I feel like this one doesn't have as much glitters in it like Skywalker. This one is a little bit more like metallic, but it is such a beautiful duochrome with gold to yellow, almost like with a green undertone shift to it, and it's very flattering on my skin tone. It could be that I do have like a warmer complexion, so like I bring out those yellow warmer tones, but it's so pretty. And I think out of all of like the more colorful highlighters, this one could be the more wearable one because it's still quite golden leaning, you know what I mean? Then we come to G04, which is called Mars Melter, and this is the one that they kind of changed completely. So the original Mars Melter came in a red tin, and it's actually what I'm wearing today. So on this side of my face, I'm wearing the original Mars Melter, and as you can see, it has more of like a fuchsia highlight, and as you can see in the pan, it looks more white, and then when you flip it, you see those fuchsia reflect. And then the new Mars Melter, which is what I'm wearing on this side of my face, it comes in a pink and green packaging, which just reminds me of Flora from Winx Club. This color combo will always remind me of her. But as you can see in the pan, this looks way more coral, but on the cheeks you still get that fuchsia underbase from that original Mars Melter, but it's definitely a lot more coral, more peachy, a little bit more pink than a violet. So it is very different from the original. Like, they're not similar at all. They kind of just revamped Mars Melter, and I can kind of see why they did that, because Mars Melter, they do have a few of these highlighters, some of them are discontinued now, that, you know, have more of a fuchsia highlight. So this one is a little bit different, where it has violet but also coral. I'm just naming every shade that I see on my cheeks when I use these highlighters. And lastly, we have G05 Moon Cruiser. This one is the old packaging. The new packaging looks like this. So what I can see is that all of the $14 highlighters, so the standard space age highlighters, they all come in this kind of tin now, which is more like a soft matte, and then the multi-chrome ones come in the metal, so that way you can kind of differentiate between the different finishes. But this is the old packaging, new packaging, but I believe the shade is still the same. I haven't used the new one because I do want to re-gift this, so I'm just sticking to my old one. I've had this for like almost 2 years now, I think. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's going to be really similar to SKYWALKER, but they are very different. So Moon Cruiser has more, I would say, like cobalt violet kind of blues. Yeah, it has such a strong like duochrome finish to it, and I just love this shade as well. I've had this one for a while now, and again, whenever I do like colorful looks, I always like to match my highlighter, my blush, my lip color with the shade I'm using on my eyes. So if I'm doing a blue look, I grab for Moon Cruiser, and now I could also grab for SKYWALKER as well. Now onto the natural family. So they have a few shades that they did discontinue. So we have N01, which is discontinued. This is a Comet Catcher, and Comet Catcher actually looks like Mars Melter, the original one, where it's like a fuchsia reflect. So again, that's what I mean when they did have some like similar shades. So I can see why they did discontinue some. And like I said earlier, the N series, so the natural series, it is more of just like, you know, your standard metallic highlight. They do have sort of like a duochrome flip to it as well, but it's not as intense as the G family. But it's very pretty. These melt into the skin like a dream. Like, they look so good on the skin. They don't enhance texture at all. But that is the G01, which is now discontinued. Then we move into G02, which is Star Surfer, and this is also a new one that I got to try recently. So when they sent me the encyclopedia, SKYWALKER and Star Surfer were the two shades I haven't used yet. Everything else I've had in my collection for almost 2 years now. Star Surfer is a really pretty one, guys. It's like your nice rosy light pink kind of highlight with like a silvery undertone to it. It's a really flattering shade, and whenever I'm gonna do pink looks from now, I'm gonna be using this highlighter. It's super pretty, and this one is also like, you know, quite natural looking. And then we have N03, which is Ray Rider. This is the one that I use the most. So I have mine in the old packaging. This is what the new packaging looks like. It's just a little bit more yellow than orange. But Ray Rider is my absolute favorite. I have recommended this so much. If you want to try these space age highlighters, but you don't want to play with color, you don't want any other multi-chromes or the blue highlights, you just want a highlighter from them that you can wear every day, I would definitely recommend Ray Rider. This is just a really beautiful radiant gold with sort of like a peachy undertone to it, so it's very flattering, and it's just a really nice light champagne kind of color, and it's my favorite. Ray Rider is a really nice staple in their lineup. The one I personally use the most, like my imprint there is like kind of gone because I love this highlighter so much. And then onto the final shade, we have N04 Diamond Dasher. This one's a really another pretty one that when I first used this, I fell in love with it, but it is actually quite similar to Star Surfer, which I'm gonna do a comparison for you a little later. It is a really nice, light, rosy champagne kind of color. It is really pretty as well. I mean, I think I said that about everything, but this one is also discontinued. So in the natural series, they only have 2 shades. So with that being said, you guys saw everything on my skin, everything swatched. Let me know your favorite shade down below. I would love to know, because wasn't that just so mesmerizing? But like I was mentioning, I do have some comparisons for you, because there are some shades that you might think look similar. So of course, first up, gotta compare the 2 blues, Skywalker and Moon Cruiser. Like I described before, Skywalker is a little bit more like true blue with the aqua kind of flip to it, whereas Moon Cruiser is a little bit more cobalt, more violet, so a little bit more to the deeper aspect of blues. And then we have the 2 gold, so Ray Rider versus Solar Sailor. Ray Rider definitely is more of an everyday kind of highlight, something a little bit more true to a gold, whereas Solar Sailor is, although it's still, I would classify as a gold, it definitely has more yellow to it, and it is a duochrome, so it's a little bit more intense and a little bit more unique. But I think both is really pretty. You could get both and you will definitely see a difference on your skin. And then lastly, I wanted to compare Diamond Dasher, which is the discontinued shade, to Star Surfer. So if you like Diamond Dasher, I think these two are actually pretty comparable. They definitely had that like rosy champagne kind of color to it. So if you missed out on Diamond Dasher, you can get Star Surfer and get a very similar effect. So I feel like this video is so long. We're gonna move into the next section now. This is my recommendations. So what are my favorites? What would I recommend from me to you? So of course, at the end of the day, this is all personal preference. We all have our makeup styles. So what I like, what you like might be all different. So just overall, I would recommend any of these highlighters. No matter what you choose, they are all beautiful. They all work so well. They look amazing on the skin. They swatch beautifully. Like, you won't be disappointed when you get these in the mail, like truly, I can guarantee that. But my favorite shades, of course, the first one I would recommend, number 1 is going to be Ray Rider. It's the one I use the most. It's the one that's the most natural. And then I would also recommend Star Surfer. So pretty much the entire N series, the natural series. Star Surfer has more of a rosy undertone, and again, it's very flattering. I love pinks, so whenever I'm wearing a pink look, I'm going to be wearing this highlighter. I also really love Solar Sailor. Like, something about this highlight is just so pretty. It's such a stunning like yellow to green lime kind of duochrome flip, and for $14, like, I think this one would probably be the most worth it. If you just wanted to get one highlight that's really unique, I would recommend the G line, the glitter line, and Solar Sailor would have to be one of my favorites. And I really enjoyed Skywalker. The aqua little glitters and sparkles in there are so pretty that I really enjoyed this one as well. But with that being said, that pretty much does conclude today's video. Hopefully you guys found this little breakdown helpful, seeing the swatches, my recommendations, comparisons. I mean, I've loved these for so long, and for the price point, seriously, you can't beat it. And I really have not seen this kind of highlight for this price point from any other brand. But again, I'm still exposing myself to more brands, so I could be totally wrong. But I think Kaleidos is doing something really amazing in the makeup industry. They are also Asian owned as well, so I just love it. I just love this brand, guys. Not sponsored, I've never been sponsored by them. But with that being said, guys, if you did enjoy today's video, if you found it helpful, if you could give the video a thumbs up for me, I'd appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for watching as always. I love you so very much, and I'll go ahead and see you guys in my next video. Bye!